Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and early anymore. It's 6 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. As you can see, I am just about ready to go out the door on my daily 3.5 mile walk around town here. And there was a news item on the news, and I have to talk about this. It's going to be a short video. It's just an opinion, and I really want to know what you guys think about this. The reason this issue stands out is because I think, me being a liberal, a Democrat, and I've always considered myself a rebel. I've always considered myself a proponent of free speech and freedom of religion. But my view of this topic, this particular article, is kind of contrary to what you would think that my normal opinion would be. All right, let me get down to the specifics. I just saw this in the news. The link will be down below. There's only one link. There's only one TV station that's talking about this. I'm sure more are going to follow. So it's a fresh story. NBC, the NBC station here in Connecticut is talking about this. There's a town called Lebanon, Connecticut. It's a small town. I'm guessing around, I don't know, probably less than 10,000 people. It's up in the northeast corner, the quiet corner as they call it, and they're organizing a after-school club in their elementary school, and it is called the Satan Club. This is the elementary school after-school club, and they right off the bat they explain it. Like I said, the news item's right down below, so you can look at it. They say it's not what you think. It's about freedom of speech and how they have the right to do this. That I guess last year there was another after-school club that started, the Good News Club or something like that. It's a Christian club, so I guess this is kind of in response to it. In other words, they're kind of they're exercising their freedom of speech and freedom of religion. And I've got some issues with this, but I'll get to that more in a second. So there's a few things that they said about their club that really just I find insulting. I do. I find troubling. They said that the reason they picked the Satan Club is I think they called Satan a literary figure, which I don't think I think he's a little more than a literary figure, but that's just my opinion. But they said that this is the thing. They consider him the ultimate rebel. Now, I've always loved, rebels, rebel without a cause. They consider him the ultimate rebel against a tyrannical authority. So what they're saying here is that God is a tyrant, a dictator, a tyrannical authority. Let me just say something right there, okay? The thing, one of the biggest things I understand about Christianity is God. In Christianity, God gave us free will, the freedom to do to pick what we want. If we want to worship this or worship that or say what we want, we have free will. God does not control our will. We have the freedom to go astray or do this or do that. That's one of the big things in the Bible. And correct me if I'm wrong. And that doesn't sound like a tyrant. So calling God or Jesus a tyrannical authority, I find it insulting. I really do, and I wouldn't even consider myself a full-time Christian. I believe, I've told you guys that before, but I don't push it on anybody, and I don't proselytize or anything like that. Okay, now here's the thing that I really have issues with. These are elementary school kids, okay? Elementary school kids are between the ages of 5 and 11. This is what bothers me. I really just, I don't have kids of my own, so I might be wrong here. But I really don't think that this was the idea of elementary school kids. And that bothers me. It seems like adults using elementary school kids to further their cause. And I didn't really look up if it really sounds like this is something would be liberal orientated, and me being a liberal, like I said, I think it's a bad idea. And like I said, I really believe that no 9, 10, or 11-year-old kid said, hey, why don't we form a Satan club? Because Satan was the ultimate rebel and he fought tyrannical authority. I just don't picture a 9, 10-year-old kid saying that. So I get the feeling that these kids are being used by an adult. That turns me off. And here's the big thing. The last thing public schools, I'm a big proponent of public schools. I went to the public school, Watertown, Connecticut, and it was one of the best educations, one of the best public schools in America at the time back in the 80s. I'm a big proponent of public schools. And I think this is the last thing public schools need for their image right now, is the idea that they're encouraging elementary school kids to start a satanic club. The Mothers for Freedom or whatever took a big trouncing in the election just Tuesday, and that was a big win. But this just seems like a very poor choice. Like I said, with the whole view of public schools and the fight by the MAGA crowd to take over public schools or do away with public schools. I think this is the last thing their image needs right now. And I feel like it's just kids really being used by a group of adults to further their cause. And I think it's a bad idea. Let me know what you think. All right, the link will be down below. Like I said, there's only one TV station. This just came out in the last 7 hours. So let me know what you think. The link will be down below. Have a good Friday.